Brazil's former president, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, could be arrested at any moment. A judge set the deadline of 5 p.m. this afternoon Brazil time for Lula to turn himself into police. Earlier this week, the country's Supreme Court voted to reject his request to remain free while appealing a 12-year prison term for corruption. Lula has been charged with corruption and money laundering. For more, we turn now to Aline Piva. She's a research fellow at the Council on Hemispheric Affairs. Aline, why do supporters of Lula believe he's being unfairly targeted here, considering the corruption we know exists within the current government he opposes?
That's a very good question, thank you. So the thing is, they have been investigating him for quite some time now. I think at least 5 years since they started the car wash operation. And what they came up so far is nothing. They don't have actual proof, they don't have hard proof against him. And what the prosecutors say is that he probably knew because he is such a smart guy, but never introduced any hard evidence. But more than that, what we are seeing is a process that is going on so quickly, and that is something unusual to Brazilian justice system.
And the timing is interesting. I mean, when Lula left office in 2010, he had record high approval ratings, upwards of 80%, and still, in spite of the corruption conviction, is still widely popular, was considered a favorite to win the election in October. Why does the public continue to support Lula?
Support him. Well, because he was the best president we ever had. But not only that, he was the only president that took measures and stipulated and instated policies that actually helped lift up the millions of people from poverty. People were able to get education, health care, and so forth. And one thing for the first time in their lives, of course, there are people who there are histories that people who never ever seen a doctor in their lives until Lula's presidency. So we need to remind that Brazil is a very unequal country, and Lula did an important role in trying to overcome a little bit of it, at least.
I imagine if something like this was happening in a country like Venezuela or Russia, we'd be hearing much more media coverage and likely international condemnation of the jailing of a leading candidate for president. Why is Brazil able to just get away with it? I mean, it seems to be happening unnoticed.
Yes, because this is the continuation of the coup against Rousseff. They staged a coup in 2016 to impose a neoliberal agenda that was, lost in the ballot box for the last 4 elections. And now they are faced with one of the most popular candidates ever. Today, Lula would win in any scenario.
And when you say neoliberal policies, what does that mean for viewers?
Temer has, since day one, what Temer did is to undo everything that has been done from the Workers' Party. So
social
programs, education, healthcare system, but more than that, labor rights. We are rolling back. It got to a point when they were discussing paying rural workers with house and food. So it's similar to what we had back in colony, when we were a colony. And they are also open up the country to foreign investments, oil exploitation, natural resources.
We have about 45 seconds left, so I want to ask you, why should viewers in the United States understand about their government, or what should they understand about their government's relationship with the government in Brazil now, and how this assists the situation?
Well, what we are seeing is that we came from a government that were trying to make Brazil more independent and an actor by itself in the international arena. And now we are seeing a government that is completely aligned to the U.S. interests. So
I guess we'll see in the coming hours what happens next with Lula, and we'll bring updates to viewers in the coming days as the situation continues to develop. There will certainly be protests, I'm sure. Aline Piva of the Council on Hemispheric Affairs. Thank you so much. Sorry about that. Thanks so much for